What would change in your life if you had $20,000 sitting in your bank account? Not hypothetically. Not someday, right now. For most people in the United States or Europe, that number feels significant. It sounds responsible, safe, mature. And yet, strangely, $20,000 is also the exact amount many people accidentally erase from their financial future, without realizing it. Today I want to talk about what $20,000 really means. Not emotionally, not socially, mathematically, and why most people misunderstand it at the exact moment it matters most. Let's imagine Daniel. Daniel is 29, he lives in Chicago, he earns $78,000 per year. After federal taxes, state taxes, and payroll deductions, he takes home around $4,700 per month. His fixed expenses look normal: $1,800 rent, $450 car payment, $180 car insurance, $300 groceries, $150 utilities, $250 student loans, $200 minimum credit card payments, $400 eating out, subscriptions, social life. That's roughly $3,730 per month. He has about $970 left. Not struggling, not thriving, just stable. Over a few years of saving bonuses, tax refunds, and being reasonably disciplined, Daniel builds up $20,000 in his savings account. He feels proud, and he should. But this is where the financial story usually changes direction. When most people reach $20,000, one of three things happens. They upgrade something. They invest it aggressively without understanding risk. Or they leave it sitting in cash indefinitely. Almost always, the decision is driven by emotion, not math. Daniel starts thinking, my car is getting old, I deserve something nicer, I should reward myself, maybe I'll put $10,000 down and finance the rest. Suddenly, that $20,000 becomes a tool for lifestyle expansion. The car goes from a $12,000 used vehicle to a $32,000 newer model. The payment increases from $450 to $720. It doesn't feel dramatic, it feels incremental. But financially, it's not incremental. It's structural. Let's break this down calmly. If Daniel keeps the $20,000 invested in a broad market index averaging 7% annually, in 25 years it becomes about $108,000. If he leaves it for 35 years, it grows to roughly $212,000. That's without adding another dollar. Now compare that to using $20,000 as a car down payment. The car depreciates immediately. Within 5 years, it might be worth $15,000 or less. So the real cost isn't $20,000, it's potentially $200,000 of future optionality. That's what people rarely see. $20,000 today is not spending money, it's time leverage. And most people trade time leverage for comfort. This mistake isn't about intelligence. It's about identity. In the United States especially, consumption is normalized. In parts of Europe, lifestyle signaling is more subtle but still present. We don't buy better cars because we need them. We buy them because they reduce friction in how we see ourselves. The moment you hit $20,000, something shifts psychologically. You feel behind less, you feel more adult, you feel safe enough to upgrade. And that feeling is dangerous. Because $20,000 is not wealth, it's stability capital. It's the amount that separates anxiety from breathing room. But modern culture treats it like permission. Permission to raise fixed expenses. Permission to expand lifestyle. Permission to feel successful. And fixed expenses are the real trap. The system quietly encourages you to convert savings into debt. Banks reward you for borrowing. Dealerships frame payments monthly, not total cost. Credit cards increase limits when you show responsibility. You're taught that financial progress looks like visible upgrades. But real financial progress often looks invisible. No new car, no bigger apartment, no dramatic announcement, just quiet optionality. The system profits when your fixed expenses rise. You benefit when they stay low. That tension defines the middle-class financial experience in both America and Europe. Let's fast forward 10 years. If Daniel increases his car payment by $270 per month, that's $3,240 per year. Over 10 years, that's $32,400, not including interest. If that money were invested annually at 7%, it could grow to around $45,000 to $50,000 over that decade. Combine that with the original $20,000 invested. Now we're talking about a six-figure difference by his early 40s. Not because of extreme investing, because of expense restraint. Most people think wealth is built by earning more. In reality, wealth is often preserved by not upgrading too early. Financially intelligent people don't see $20,000 as spending capacity. They see it as decision gravity. They ask themselves, what does this money represent in 20 years? What fixed cost am I about to lock in? Does this purchase increase my freedom or reduce it? They don't avoid enjoyment. They delay structural upgrades. There's a difference between buying something once and raising your baseline cost of living. One is temporary. The other compounds negatively. When someone reaches $20,000 and chooses not to inflate their life, something subtle happens. Their stress drops permanently. Because now, a job loss isn't catastrophic. A medical bill isn't devastating. An opportunity, moving cities, starting something new becomes possible. $20,000 isn't luxury money. It's leverage money. And leverage should protect you before it entertains you. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, $20,000 properly positioned might represent 1 year of financial runway. It might be the foundation of compounding that your future self quietly benefits from. Misused, it becomes a nicer car, a more expensive apartment, or a slightly elevated lifestyle that feels good but locks you in. The tragedy isn't overspending. It's misunderstanding what the number actually is. $20,000 is not wealth, but it's the beginning of control. Most people misuse it because they think it's a reward. Financially stable people treat it as insulation, and wealthy people treat it as a seed. The difference isn't income, it's interpretation. If you're fortunate enough to reach that number, pause. Not out of fear, not out of guilt, just awareness. Because how you interpret your first $20,000 often determines how you handle your first $200,000. If this helped you think a little more clearly about money, consider subscribing for more calm, realistic financial conversations.